Hello, everyone. Daryl Eisen here from Ars Home San Diego and Homes by Daryl. I'm here with my good friend Steve Whittaking from Whittaking Law. He is my estate planning attorney, and I've got a question today for him about title. So, Steve, when you buy a property, you hold it under title. If you're buying it as a primary resident, if you're buying it for a vacation rental, or if you're buying it for a long-term, say, rental investment, I'm sure there's different ways to hold title that make sense for different scenarios. What are those?
Sure. First, thanks for having me here, Daryl. I appreciate it. So traditionally, people take title in their own name, and if they're married, as joint tenants with their spouse. And that seemed like a good idea, but it really has long-term bad effects. It costs money. So with joint tenancy, when the first person dies, the second person just gets it. But the problem becomes when the second person dies, or if you're single when you die. Your property is going to go through probate. An expensive, long court process, takes 18 to 24 months. I won't go into all the details, but it's bad. It's going to cost about 5% of the value of your estate. So when you're talking about your personal residence, it's smart to put it in what we call a revocable living trust. When that happens, it's you saying to the state of California, I don't like your plan of going to court, and lets you opt out of it. So it'll go to your heirs without going through that court process. It'll go immediately and without the cost of about 5%. So I think the median price of a house in San Diego right now is about 900 grand. So 5% of that is $45,000. So you're literally saving your heirs paying $45,000 to get it through probate by just putting it in a trust. So for your individual, your home residence, that's the smart way. When we talk about rental property, it's still important to have a trust, but it may make sense to put it in LLC. That provides a level of asset protection, your personal asset protection. So if somebody were to get hurt on your rental property and they were to sue, you've kind of boxed in that asset as the only thing that's on the hook and not the rest of your personal property. I do want to say though, like the best thing, in addition to how you take title, is to have the right amount of insurance, right? If you're going to be a landlord or an Airbnb landlord, have insurance so that if there's any claim by someone getting injured, that takes care of it. But if it exceeds your insurance, then you're protected to that asset, not the rest of you. So that would be true for both Airbnb or just a regular rental property you're renting out full time. One other thing people do is buy vacation properties that they go on vacation in, like
Sure.
maybe a cabin that they don't rent out. You don't really need an LLC for that. You don't have the people hanging out there, living there, partying there if it's an Airbnb. You don't really have that liability. So in that sense, in that case, it probably makes sense to just have it in your joint revocable living trust. And those are really the important things to think about in taking title, is who's going to be there and then what happens at your death.
Thank you, Steve. Thanks for coming today, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, take care.
Yeah.